How's it going? Welcome back to another episode of Matthew Thompson, famous YouTuber. It's been about a month, and so I owe you a video at this point, but knowing that I prepared months in advance, talking is hard, and ordered multiple books all at once. And today, I'm going to be reviewing The Giving Tree. Now, The Giving Tree is a book by Shel Silverstein. His picture's on the back. Good looking guy. I think we have a lot in common. And so this book is about a tree that gives, from everything that I can tell. Perhaps you've read it before. I may have given it a brief skim beforehand. Who knows? But point being is that we're going to go on this journey together and see what can be learned from The Giving Tree. If you've been watching this channel for a while, you know that we get very deep and very introspective on any of the books that we've read, whether it be The Very Hungry Caterpillar, If You Give a Mouse a Cookie, or Green Eggs and Ham. And this video is going to be no different. We are going to get to the bottom of the moral lessons that The Giving Tree can teach us and how we can apply them to our lives. I have my nice, cold, crisp, refreshing LaCroix with me. I got the Raz Cranberry flavor, so I'll be nice and refreshed as I'm reviewing this with you. I recommend you also go find yourself a nice, tasty beverage, and then we can begin on this journey. So without further ado, The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein. I guess before we get started too, you'll probably notice that we're somewhere different. I figured book time requires us to be in my book corner. So yeah, change of scenery is a good thing. We'll see if this book is good though. For Nikki. Now we don't know who Nikki is, but it's for her. Once there was a tree. And as you can see, the tree is on that page. And she loved a little boy. And every day the boy would come and he would gather her leaves. And make them into crowns and play king of the forest. So as you can see, we have the tree, we have our boy, and we have the boy making a crown of leaves, pretending he's king of the forest. The first things that we can learn from here is that this tree might have a strange emotional attachment to this boy. This tree has feelings, and we all know that every tree has feelings, but tree feelings maybe should be between themselves, and I don't think this is an appropriate relationship potentially. Now, the boy clearly has delusions of grandeur, being approximately, if I were to take my tape measure, 4 inches tall, and yet he believes he's the king of the forest. Now, neither of these are realistic, but we will continue forward. He would climb up her trunk, which is a normal boy thing to do, and swing from her branches, also a normal boy thing to do. And eat apples, also a normal boy thing to do. So despite his delusions of grandeur, every other indicator that we have is that this is a normal, well-developed young man who does things that young men should do, such as climbing trees, swinging from branches, and eating apples. Now, the tree seems to be very willing to allow the boy to partake in these activities. Hence the name, The Giving Tree would be my guess. We'll continue forward though and see what happens. and they would play hide and go seek. How does a tree play hide and seek? Apparently this tree has branches that can actually move. So this tree is clearly alive. I think we might be in the realm of some fantasy world such as Middle Earth, or you name whatever fantasy world where trees are alive. Because I'll tell you what, I don't got trees like this in my backyard. But anyways, so this boy and tree play hide and seek. That's wild. We'll dispense normal belief to continue on with this story in the time being. And when he was tired, he would sleep in her shade. Also a relatively normal thing to do. Taking naps in the shade on a hot summer day. Probably few things that are better. As you can see in this image too, he's got his apple cores that he's eating. He took his shoes off earlier when he was climbing the tree. This boy is having the time of his life. Continuing on though. And the boy loved the tree. Well, isn't that just touching? Best of friends. Very much. And you can see he's put his name into the tree, me plus T. His initials are M-E, and the tree's initials are T. Obviously, tree stands for, or T stands for tree. M-E, we don't know what his name is. Maybe it's Matthew. That would be a good name to have, actually. So, and we can see the tree was happy. Now, when two people, trees, whatever, we'll assume this is a friendship type of love. When you have a best friend, yeah, it can really make you happy, I suppose. I was just hanging out with my best friend earlier, and it was a great time. I don't have a tattoo on my arm, though, of our initials, MT and JK. So, yeah, there you go. This book has given me some strange vibes, I'll be honest. Maybe I shouldn't have reviewed this. Continuing on, though. But time went by, and so you got me plus T, and then you got the boy there, and yeah, you can see that the man is clearly looking away from the tree and is no longer invested in the relationship they've established prior. So this just goes to show you that love can grow cold. In the case of the tree, I think it seems to still be committed to the relationship. After all, it does have the tattoo on its sleeve, so to speak. But the boy here seems to be moving on to better things. And the boy grew older. And we have quite the scandal here, because now the boy is clearly hanging out with some honey. And he has written the honey's name in the side of the tree. So it was me and tree, but now we got me plus YL. Who is YL? Is it like Yannette Lewis or something? I don't know. But not only that, he has the audacity to show up with his new boo thing at the place where he's had his prior friendship, relationship, strange ship is what we'll call it. A very weird, strange friendship. And so not only has he forgotten about this tree, he has then decided to bring this friend here. Very audacious. And the tree was often alone. That's sad, dude. Yeah, you got the tree. It's by itself. It's got its arms wilting. Not only does it have its old tattoo of the boy, it's been left the tattoo of the boy and the girl she left the tree, or he left the tree for. Um, yeah, that hits hard. Yikes. Continuing on though. Wow, this is a lot more ticks than usual. Then one day the boy came to the tree, and the tree said, "Come, boy, and climb up my trunk and swing from my branches. Eat apples and play in my shade and be happy." "I am too big to climb and play," said the boy. "I want to buy things and have fun. I want some money. Can you give me some money?" "I'm sorry," said the tree, "but I have no money. I have only leaves and apples. Take my apples, boy, and sell them in the city. Then you will have money and you will be happy." You see, we got a problem here. The tree, first of all, has made the number one mistake that money buys happiness. It does not. Money does not buy happiness. Money buys things, and things buy happiness. I'm joking. But, yeah, all in all, this tree has not seemed to learn that this is a very one-way relationship of her, I'm gonna assume it's a her in this instance, giving to the boy, and the boy not giving anything in return, really. This is very much a take relationship for the boy, and the tree is very much giving into it. We'll see here. "And the boy climbed up the tree and gathered apples and carried them away, and the tree was happy." So the boy just takes whatever this tree has, in this case the apples, and walks away. This boy has never thanked the tree. This boy has never thought much about the tree ever since they were kids, but he knows when he needs something where he goes. Not a great look. "And the boy stayed away for a long time, and the tree was sad. And then one day the boy came back, and the tree shook with joy. Shook, I tell you. And she said, 'Come, boy, climb up my trunk and swing from my branches and be happy.' 'I am too busy to climb trees,' said the boy. 'I want a house to keep warm,' he said. 'I want a wife and I want children, so I need a house. Can you give me a house?' Hate to break it to him, but it ain't that simple. Trust me, I'm a homeowner. 'I have no house,' said the tree. 'The forest is my house, but you may cut off my branches and build a house. Then you will be happy.'" So, as a homeowner, one, owning a house doesn't make you happy. Owning a house makes you stressed, because you are now responsible for everything inside this house, and you now have to take care of everything that's going on inside of it. So the notion that me having a house will make me happy, wrong. And then he also says, and I touched on this moments ago, "I want a wife and children, so I need a house." I think you're mistaken in terms of what a house is going to get you. There are plenty of single men that are homeowners. And this guy, he doesn't seem to be looking too great. I mean, he looks like he might be in his 30s or 40s at this point. He has a receding hairline, he looks overweight, and just doesn't have a lot going for him. So, yeah, that's where destructive decisions may get you, like leaving your friend the tree behind. We also have no idea whatever happened to this other girl he was hanging out with. We can only assume that's gone sour. Interesting. And so the boy cut off her branches and carried them away to build his house. You ain't gonna be able to build a very big house with that. If your goal is to impress the ladies, I'm sorry, my friend, that ain't happening. And the tree was happy. Yeah, I don't get this tree. Continuing on. And when the boy stayed away for a long, but the boy stayed away for a long time, and when he came back, the tree was so happy she could hardly speak. Okay, so the tree is a she. So it's like a mother in this instance. "Come, boy," she whispered, "come and play. I am too old and sad to play," said the boy. "I want a boat that will take me far away from here. Can you give me a boat?" "Cut down my trunk and make a boat," said the tree. "Then you can sail away and be happy." What happened to the house is my question. I thought this man was about to build the house, get the boothane, and live the life of his dreams. And now here we are, and he now looks even angrier and more crotchetier than before. He wants to build a boat so he can go far away. And this tree thinks that building some sort of wood canoe is going to get him there. As someone who once canoed 40 miles in one day, I can tell you that it's probably the most miserable experience of your entire life. And I barely went anywhere. So not only is this relationship continuing to be abusive, they're both somewhat delusional in terms of what they're going to be able to achieve here. But again, we'll suspend belief in terms of continuing with the story. So the boy cut down her trunk and made a boat and sailed away. It's going to hold this guy, this half a trunk. Where'd the rest of the trunk go? Did he just decide to only take 3/4 of it? Strange. And the tree was happy, but not really. Now, every good story has a growth moment, and this seems to be the growth moment for the tree. After I've given away her apples, her limbs, her trunk, and being only left as a stump, I think she's starting to realize that this may not be a great relationship for her. A little too late, but that's fine. After a long time, the boy came back again. "I am sorry, boy," said the tree, "but I have nothing left to give you. My apples are gone." "My teeth are too weak for apples," said the boy. "My branches are gone," said the tree. "You cannot swing on them." "I am too old to swing on branches," said the boy. "My trunk is gone," said the tree. "You cannot climb." "I am too tired to climb," said the boy. "I am sorry," sighed the tree. "I wish I could give you something, but I have nothing left. I am just an old stump. I am sorry." Why is the tree apologizing? This is unbelievable. "I don't need very much now," said the boy. "Just a quiet place to sit and rest. I am very tired." "Well," said the tree, straightening herself up as much as she could. "Well, an old stump is good for sitting and resting. Come, boy, sit down and rest." And the boy did. And the tree was happy. The end. All in all, a rather depressing read. We have the story starting off with a young boy and a tree that are both healthy in the prime of their lives, and the story proceeds with the boy continuously making destructive choices, leading to both his detriment and the tree, and ends with them both being old and decrepit in a state of that's not great. I guess there is a lesson though that even as you get old and you deteriorate rapidly, and your teeth are no longer strong enough to chew apples, you can still be happy by sitting on a stump. Well, I guess the tree can be happy by sitting on the stump. We don't really know how the boy feels. Just based on his interactions throughout the story, I don't think he's happy, which does go to show you that if you just continuously take from any sort of relationship, you probably aren't going to be too happy in the end. But do you know who is happy? The tree. The tree is happy. And the tree is the one who is always giving to her detriment. So maybe there is a lesson to learn, that it is more blessed to give than receive. If only some other book had that sort of wisdom somewhere. But yeah, that'll wrap this one up. If you like this video, or if you like this book, please be sure to leave a like, a comment, tell your friends and your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your tree friend about this channel. We're still trying to get to 100 subscribers. That's like climbing Mount Everest at this point for this channel. But if we can get there, I'm sure we'll do something special. But yeah, that's all I got for you today. Hope you enjoyed. We'll catch you next time.